It started with what should have been the safest, most wholesome piece of holiday content possible. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, in her California kitchen preparing a Thanksgiving turkey for her family. A warm, cozy moment, a relatable moment. The kind of celebrity-at-home clip that usually earns millions of likes, soft praise, and comments like, "This is so sweet, I love their family traditions. She looks happy," and "This is the real Meghan." But instead, the video exploded into something no one expected. The clip turned into a full-blown, internet-wide roast, one that gave birth to a brand new nickname, one that would dominate social media for the next 72 hours, Salmonella Sussex. The moment the video went live, it looked harmless. Meghan was smiling, hair tied loosely at the back, wearing a cream sweater with rolled-up sleeves. The countertop was decorated with herbs, citrus, and bowls of spices. It was classic lifestyle brand energy, beautifully staged, softly lit, and full of those smooth, intentional camera angles that make every dish look like it came straight out of a magazine spread. At first glance, it felt like a preview for With Love Meghan, or a bonus clip from her lifestyle brand As Ever. And for the first few minutes, the comments were exactly what you would expect. Fans praising her cooking skills, admiring the aesthetics, and talking about how nice it was to see the Duchess in a casual, holiday moment. But then came the moment that changed everything. At around the 15-second mark, Meghan reached for the raw turkey. Not with tongs, not with gloves, not after removing her jewelry. She handled the raw bird while wearing multiple rings and a bracelet. One of them extremely delicate, the kind you normally keep far away from raw poultry. And just like that, the internet pounced. It began slowly. Meghan, you're supposed to take the rings off first. Please tell me she washed her hands after that. The cross-contamination is stressing me out. But in the next hour, the comments shifted from gentle concern to full comedy mode. On TikTok, creators began stitching the clip and adding dramatic sound effects, red filters, and mock cooking show voiceovers. One user stitched the clip of Meghan touching the raw turkey with an exaggerated gasp, shouting, "Not the jewelry, Meghan! Not the jewelry!" Another added a fake Gordon Ramsay reaction, yelling, "You're gonna kill someone!" Then the jokes got harsher. Salmonella Sussex was born, and once the nickname hit Twitter, it spread like wildfire. Memes began popping up, Meghan holding a turkey with CSI crime scene music playing, Meghan's rings labeled as high-risk contamination zones, and split-screen edits comparing her kitchen technique to health code violations. Even late-night talk shows began referencing the incident. One host joked, "America has a new Thanksgiving tradition this year, giving thanks that Meghan Markle isn't cooking for the public." But the moment that truly pushed the story into viral territory was when the New York Post picked it up with a headline that practically wrote itself. Meghan Markle dubbed Salmonella Sussex after Thanksgiving turkey blunder. From that moment, the story became international. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about Meghan's turkey. It became yet another symbol in the ongoing public obsession with everything she does, every move, every gesture, every moment of her life analyzed, magnified, and judged in ways that most celebrities never face. People who already disliked Meghan turned the clip into proof that she was irresponsible. People who defended her argued that trolls simply look for any excuse to drag her. And the neutral viewers, the ones who normally don't pay attention to royal drama, were suddenly very interested in the idea of the world's most polarizing woman mishandling poultry. News outlets began dissecting the clip frame by frame. Some actually brought in food safety experts who explained what the average person should and shouldn't do while preparing raw poultry. One expert even mentioned that rings can trap bacteria and spread contamination around the kitchen. Another emphasized that Meghan probably washed her hands, but the internet didn't get to see it, and that's why it became a spectacle. It didn't matter if she cleaned everything properly afterward. What mattered was the few seconds the camera captured. Behind the comedy chaos, there was something deeper. Meghan has long lived at the center of an intense global spotlight. And every time she shares something personal, be it her acting comeback, a brand launch, or a simple cooking moment, it becomes magnified far beyond the original intention. Some viewers saw the turkey video not as a harmless holiday clip, but as a mistake worthy of international mockery. Others saw the reaction as disproportionate and cruel, fueled by a public that has turned Meghan into a lightning rod for every kind of criticism imaginable. Meanwhile, Meghan remained silent. No responses, no clarifications, no follow-up posts. Her team didn't issue statements, and Harry didn't comment. There were no Instagram stories correcting the technique, no behind-the-scenes blooper reel, nothing. And in that silence, speculation grew. Some believed Meghan was ignoring the drama because she saw the humor in it. Others thought she was embarrassed, and a few insisted that the entire situation was being blown out of proportion by people who have been waiting for her to slip up. But whether the reaction was fair or not, the story had already taken on a life of its own. TikTok edits reached millions of views. The nickname dominated Twitter trending lists for 2 days. Cooking instructors, food scientists, lifestyle influencers, and even comedians were posting their takes. One popular meme showed Meghan touching the turkey with the caption, "New variant detected, Salmonella." But still, beneath the jokes, something else was happening. Some viewers began questioning the double standards. They pointed out that many celebrity cooking videos show jewelry, messy kitchens, or imperfect techniques, but those clips rarely become global controversies. Then came the comparisons to old clips of Martha Stewart, Trissy Teigen, and even Nigella Lawson, where rings were present and no one cared. So why Meghan? Because Meghan Markle doesn't exist in a normal celebrity ecosystem. She exists in a storm, one made of royal history, public expectations, polarized opinions, and a media landscape that treats her with a level of scrutiny normally reserved for politicians. And the turkey moment simply became the latest example of this dynamic. A simple mistake turned into a cultural event not because of what she did, but because of who she is. By the end of the weekend, even her supporters were making jokes about it. Funny, lighthearted banter, and in a strange way that may have helped lighten the mood. What began as harsh criticism slowly morphed into a more playful conversation. The tone shifted from, "she's irresponsible," to, "okay, this is funny, relax." But the real question isn't whether Meghan handled the turkey. It's why every tiny moment in her life transforms into a global debate. Why the public watches her with such intensity, why every clip becomes a symbol, and why, even after stepping away from royal duties, she remains one of the most dissected public figures on Earth. The turkey moment may fade in a few days, but the world's fascination with Meghan Markle is not going anywhere.
The backlash didn't die down the next day the way most internet jokes do. Instead, something unusual happened. The story started splitting into two parallel conversations. On one side were the relentless memes, the jokes, the stitches, the parody edits, and the full-blown comedic roasting of Meghan's turkey technique. But on the other side was a deeper conversation, the kind that always seems to emerge whenever Meghan Markle becomes the topic of the week. It became a debate about fame, public expectations, double standards, and the unique position she occupies in modern celebrity culture. And interestingly, as the story evolved, the turkey became almost symbolic, a shorthand for everything people feel about her, whether they love her, dislike her, or simply can't stop watching her. By the morning of the second day, news outlets had fully picked up the story. Not just tabloids, not just entertainment blogs, but mainstream publications, breakfast shows, even political commentators who normally stick to serious topics. Comments ranged from dramatic overreactions to philosophical reflections. One opinion piece asked, "Why do we care this much about a turkey?" Another responded, "Because Meghan Markle has become the internet's favorite arena to testing public opinion." And both somehow felt true. Meanwhile, the memes were only getting more extreme. One viral TikTok showed an animated turkey chasing people through a supermarket labeled Meghan's Kitchen with dramatic horror movie music playing. Another creator made a mock public health warning featuring Meghan holding the raw turkey with glittering rings, flashing red text reading, "Warning, jewelry may cause emotional damage." Someone else edited her clip into a fake Food Network disaster episode titled Thanksgiving Gone Wrong, Royal Edition. The humor was everywhere, relentless, exaggerated, absurd. But the counter-narrative also grew louder. Fans began pushing back, pointing out that the internet's reaction revealed more about the public than about Meghan. They argued that millions of people cook with jewelry on, handle food imperfectly, or share slightly messy home videos without consequence. But when Meghan does it, the stakes somehow become life or death. One trending comment said, "We all know this isn't about salmonella, it's about how people want to drag her no matter what." Another wrote, "You'd think she committed a crime, it's just poultry." And those voices became the backbone of a growing defensive wave. Suddenly, the discussion wasn't funny anymore. It was heated. Social media became a battlefield. Critics accused Meghan of irresponsibility, arrogance, and performative homemaking. Defenders accused the critics of obsession, bias, and disproportionate hostility. And in the middle of all this noise, the original video kept racking up millions of views. People who hadn't seen it were now seeking it out just to understand the meme. Reaction channels uploaded commentary videos. Podcast hosts dedicated entire segments to discussing whether the public's fixation was rooted in deeper issues. And somehow, a celebrity turkey clip had become a cultural moment. What complicated things even more was Meghan's silence. She didn't delete the video, she didn't respond, she didn't clarify anything. And that silence became the new storyline. Some interpreted it as confidence, proof that she wasn't bothered by internet noise. Others sighed as strategic, part of her don't engage, don't explain media philosophy. A few claimed she was embarrassed, hiding, avoiding attention. But the truth was that no one actually knew, and that lack of clarity created space for endless speculation. At the same time, Meghan's team continued posting unrelated content, promoting her holiday special, her lifestyle brand, and her new projects. And that triggered another conversation. How does a celebrity navigate a PR stumble in real time? Do they ignore it, address it, or lean into the humor? Different experts gave different opinions. One Hollywood PR consultant said, "Ignoring it is the best move. It will blow over." A royal correspondent countered, "No, the silence fuels the criticism." A lifestyle influencer argued, "She should laugh with us, post a follow-up video fixing the turkey properly or wearing gloves." And then another said, "She owes no one anything. It's her kitchen." It became clearer by the hour that the incident had transformed into something far bigger than what actually happened. It wasn't just that Meghan prepared a turkey incorrectly in a video, it was that people projected layers of meaning onto those few seconds. To some, it was a harmless mishap. To others, it represented carelessness. To critics who dislike her, it became validation. To supporters who adore her, it became proof of unfair treatment. To neutral viewers, it became the funniest thing they'd seen all week. And to analysts, it became a case study in how celebrity culture now operates. The strangest thing about modern fame is that small moments often define how the public perceives a person far more than their actual accomplishments. Meghan has produced documentaries, launched businesses, created a Netflix series, spoken on global stages, and built a philanthropic platform with Harry. But what trends? A turkey, a nickname, a few seconds of footage. And that reality isn't just true for Meghan, it's true for every celebrity with an oversized spotlight. But in her case, the effect is multiplied by a decade of royal drama, tabloid narratives, political polarization, and the passionate and sometimes extreme fandoms on both sides. Every move she makes becomes an opportunity for commentary. Every slip becomes an occasion for headlines. Every silence becomes a statement. As the frenzy continued, some observers began noticing something interesting. The nickname Salmonella Sussex, once meant as an insult, was being reclaimed in certain corners of the internet. Fans began using it ironically. They started making wholesome memes out of it. Edits appeared showing Meghan holding the turkey with sparkles and angel wings. Someone even designed a mock Meghan's turkey hotline graphic, promising, "Call 1-800-Sussex for safe cooking tips." The tone shifted from harsh criticism to playful jest. And that shift mattered because it softened the narrative into something lighter, something closer to the harmless fun it should have been from the beginning. One viral video from a woman who identified as a longtime Meghan fan said, "Let's be honest, we've all done something like this. Who cares? The joke is funny, but the hate is not. Laugh, move on, and let that woman enjoy her turkey." It struck a chord with thousands. Even some of the earlier critics began posting comments like, "Okay, I'll admit it, the memes are hilarious, but the outrage was too much." The conversation had gone full circle, from shock to mockery to debate to overanalysis and finally to levity. But underneath it all, something else was brewing, a renewed curiosity about Meghan. Every time a controversy hits, her name re-enters the global conversation in a massive way. And whether people like her or not, they watch, they research, they click, they engage. She's a magnet for attention, some positive, some negative, all powerful. And this incident reminded the world of how quickly she can dominate headlines even when she's not trying. While the internet continued spiraling, news insiders noticed something subtler: the timing. The turkey video went viral just days before major announcements from Meghan's brand and before the release of her upcoming holiday special. Some speculated that the clip, even unintentionally, might boost visibility. Others argued it could overshadow her actual work. But the undeniable truth was that millions more people were now paying attention to her platforms. Whether for the right reasons or not, Meghan was trending again. By the evening of the third day, the story had softened enough that even lifestyle commentators began joking about it in a friendlier tone. One food blogger posted a parody of Meghan's clip, purposely reenacting the turkey scene with over-the-top jewelry and adding the caption, "Inspired by the Duchess." Another creator made a video educating viewers on proper food handling techniques while laughing at the nickname. The tone had shifted, the harshness had settled, and the internet, as usual, was ready to move on to the next big moment. But underneath it all, something else was brewing, a renewed curiosity about Meghan. Every time a controversy hits, her name re-enters the global conversation in a massive way. And whether people like her or not, they watch, they research, they click, they engage. She's a magnet for attention, some positive, some negative, all powerful. And this incident reminded the world of how quickly she can dominate headlines even when she's not trying. The turkey blender will eventually fade from memory. The memes will die out, the nickname will stop trending, but the story's real significance isn't the mistake. It's what it reveals about the world's relationship with her. Meghan Markle is not just a public figure, she's a cultural mirror. People project onto her admiration, resentment, fascination, frustration, curiosity. And that's why even something as small as touching a turkey with jewelry becomes a global phenomenon. In the end, the incident didn't damage her brand. If anything, it humanized her. It reminded audiences that behind the title, behind the fame, behind the controversies, there is simply a woman trying to prepare a holiday meal for her family. A woman who makes mistakes, a woman who gets mocked, a woman who trends for reasons she never expects, and a woman